difficulties here. Oh, there we go. Don't really know if you saw that, but oops. Okay, so I just did eyes, do's and don'ts. So I wanted to show that you can make your eyes look bigger and a little more fresh by just doing a few different things than this eye. Not that everyone does all those things, but I just wanted to show you that. So one of the best things on the do's side for your face is once you've done your makeup routine and put your moisturizer on and everything, you should do sunscreen. I like to use the Elta UV Defense SPF 45. This was from my dermatologist, and this is for oily skin because I don't want my moisturizer or my sunscreen to make me oily. So I put that on and you let it soak in. So I'm only putting it on the do side because you won't even notice the difference, but I'm just telling you. You should always, you saw me rub it off, but what I like to do is put it on the back of my hand first, and then I rub it on my face, and then I rub the backs of my hands together, because that way you have your sunscreen on the back of your hands to stop you from getting those stupid sun brown spots that we all hate. And then you have it on there. Okay, so while I wait for that to dry, what I was gonna do was, if I can find my brush, I was gonna draw a line down my face. See if I can draw a line down my face. Okay, so I'm waiting. When you put your SPF on, you want it to soak in for a little bit to do its job. But like I said, you put all of your skincare stuff on first. And then you put your SPF, and then you put your primer on. So pretend I waited, and then I'm going to put my primer. This is the hydrating primer by Younique. I find that you don't need very much. It's like a clear gel. And me being worried about being oily, I find, but yet I'm, to the point where I need to make sure I have moisture in my skin. I find that it's hard to put it on only half your face. Put it on underneath your eyes as well. It helps with the under eye. Creasing. So a primer, just like the eye primer, helps to give your face a good base, and it kind of fills in all those little spots in there that you don't want filled in with, creasing foundations and things. And so it's like painting a wall. You prime it first, and then it helps the product look its normal color instead of soaking in and taking on a different color. So one of the do's, or one of the don'ts I'm going to try to recreate, is doing a color of foundation that isn't right for you. So I'm going to put too light of a concealer in with my foundation. See how that works, and I'm going to put it on this side, my don't side. And some people just put it on by like rubbing it like that. I was doing what you should do, pat it on. So we're gonna get to some contouring things too. So, okay. You wanna make sure that you get up to your hairline, but I'm not going to because this is my don't side. I got quite light. Okay. It's a little too light for me there. And then for the dews, I'm going to use, maybe what I'll use is, do I have it here? I guess I use what I've got. Maybe I'll just use this. This is the BB cream. It's nice for drier skin and for a nice light coating of foundation. I usually put it just on my brush, but since I have my hand going on here, I'll just put it on there. So I tap it around, and then I use circular motions. And I make sure I go just underneath my jawline so I don't look like I have like a straight line there. I don't always go right underneath where my, I tend to get wrinkles here, so I try not to put too much product there. And I want to go right up into my hairline. I don't know if I put any of the other stuff on my nose, the lighter colored stuff. Okay. You can use your fingers, you can use a damp. When you use one of these sponges, you want to make sure it's damp. I'm just putting rose water on there. You can put water on there too, to tap it all in. Up into the hairline there. Okay, so that's foundation. Okay, so now I just want to wipe off this stuff off my hands. Rinse it off here. I'm gonna do a little bit of concealer underneath my eyes. Now, some people like to use a shade or two lighter than their own complexion, but I find if you use too light, it looks a bit funny. Just trying to find a brush I haven't used because I've used a whole bunch of my brushes already. So this isn't necessarily the right brush for using under eye concealer, but I'm gonna use it anyway because that's what I got. So I'm gonna put too light on the don't side. I'm gonna put too light of a foundation or a concealer under here. It's funny, I don't have that many to show you. I don't honestly own that many products that don't match my skin because why would I? Right? And then people put, I see them on all these makeup shows and they put a whole bunch in a big V underneath their eyes here. And for me, maybe for all the younger girls that do that, it doesn't settle in their wrinkles or anything, but for me, it certainly would. I'm going to, I'll tap it in. Okay, So I got a whole bunch of, kind of matches my too light of foundation. Okay, so I'm very light on that side. On the other side, what I like to do, so you don't notice it as much later, because it doesn't settle in your wrinkles or anything, is I put some concealer that matches my foundation just in the dark parts. Like I get dark right here and here. I don't really go too much under here because if I do that, it'll settle in there. So I'm just gonna put it in those dark parts. Then I warm it up with my finger. You can also use your damp sponge. Right now this side's not looking that bad because it's not that much lighter than my normal. It's pretty funny. But I know later, all of this is gonna have where I have all my wrinkles there, it's gonna settle in this side. It won't, because I put the primer there and I didn't put too much product there. And then where you have your little spots that you don't want people to see, you can use leftover because your concealer matches your skin, which is kind of good. Okay, then we have powder. So my things are always so handy until I go to show you guys something. And then I can't find it. Okay, I'll use my bigger brush here. So lots of people on the don't side will take a whole bunch of powder and just put it all over. That's all fine and dandy for right now. But all that powder, it's gonna settle into all those fine lines. All those lines around here, all in there. So I suggest you don't do that. What I suggest you do, start with under your eyes. I know lots of people don't like to put any powder under their eyes, but I find this unique Behold setting powder works quite well. You get a little bit on your brush, not a whole lot, just a little bit, and you go outwards from the inside where you put it out, and then you can even like warm it up with your finger. And I have tried this, and believe me, by the end of the day, it works pretty good for not settling in those lines. And then you can still powder your face. You can still get powder on your brush, but don't go close to these areas where you have your wrinkles. Go in the areas where you're going to be shiny, like shiny on your chin, on your nose, on your forehead. You don't have to put it here or here, right? Because you don't necessarily get shiny there. So I say stay away from those areas. And then you're better off. Okay, now we've done our powder. You can do your powder after you do your contouring. I just did it now just because I did. Okay, so now we have contouring. Some people don't do contouring, and I'm talking about like dark bronzers, and I don't know how I'm gonna make this lighter. So maybe I'll just do the dark contouring. But so what I see a lot of the young girls do is they go like this, and they find that line in their cheek, and they go down from their, woo, that's a lot. They go down That just makes my face go down. Bring it down. Ugh. Okay, so if I was gonna go do that on this side, I would find my cheekbone here, but I would come across. I wouldn't do that. Number one, that looks bad. Watch, they'll probably stop this video when I'm doing the fish face. But you find your cheekbone here, and you just kind of follow it, and even up a little bit higher. And you come across, but you don't come very far. You don't need to come even sort of past the start of your eye there. And see, I still have a cheekbone. I just don't have this. To be fair, I should buff. If I had my little blending, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. I mean, that's bad. Still, I gotta give it a chance here. Blend it upwards a bit, right? Okay. Then the other thing too is, you see them go all down like this and all up around here. That's pretty special on this light colored. Okay. That's the bronzer. I know this one was something else. Looks down. This one looks a little more lifted. But at my age, I get these droopy things here. So we do want to contour on the lower part of our face here. But what you want to do is you just want to go along your jawline. I don't know if I have enough to show you. It might be dark, but I just want to show you. Go along your jawline. But where this sticks out, you want to just go up a little bit. So that it helps it to recede. God, I hate these. You just try to make it recede a little bit by putting a little more contour there. And then I do put some up here. But I'm getting a little bit thinner. I find I get a little thinner here, so I don't put too much there. What you can do is put a little bit of lighter, maybe I have it over here, some highlight. Brush, I'm losing all my brushes. You put a little bit of highlight sort of here. Here. And a bit above your lip. Blush. People talk about putting it on the apples of your cheeks. So they smile and they go, okay, here it is. I'm gonna put it on there. There we go. Okay. Boy, this side looks bad. But for me, yeah, you want to kind of find where that is, but you want to just lightly swipe it and then go back. You don't want to go like way up here. You just want to have a nice little, see what I'm doing here? Nice little color going on there. Now, some people like to do a, like I said, I'm losing all my brushes here. Luminizer or a more defined highlighter. And what I see them do is put it right where, like, I can just even do it on my face like that, right where those wrinkles are, like right where your wrinkles are gonna be. Already I can see it caking in there. And I haven't even had it on very long. I don't know if you can see it caking. It's not on this side. So if I was to do a little bit of highlighter on this side, I would leave it this where my wrinkles are. I would put it a little bit below there. If you want to have a little bit of a highlight, put it a little bit below there. Then you can still have your highlighter. Okay. That's my do's and don'ts. What side do you like? I'm gonna go wash this off now. I hope you learned something. Have a good day.